This is High Vibe TV, the uncensored, guided, and community-based video TV network with content recorded and live streamed from the world-famous High Vibe TV studios. High Vibe TV delivers daily, weekly, and special programs focused on astrology, spirituality, history, community, and more. This is not your run-of-the-mill astrology and tarot. This is the future of spirituality, illuminating new ways the collective can step into the dawning of this exciting new dimension. The highest vibe is truth, and the truth always prevails. Download our awesome app on the Apple and Android stores so you don't miss our notifications, with special spiritual insights curated to the energy of the universe. Search for us on your TV with our exciting TV apps on Apple TV and Roku. Catch our vibe on your computer, where you can join in on the live chat with our amazing community and blog. Watch spirituality like you've never seen before. Download our apps or go to highvibe.tv. Subscribe now.
So at least we'll be starting to feel better. But again, this is not going to be, oh, Mercury's out of retrograde, it's all over, I feel amazing and perfect. No, it's not. We got to wait for this new moon. We got a dark moon, let's not forget. It's going to be happening, of course, at the last degree of Sag, when the sun is at 29 Capricorn, and then the moon comes into Capricorn dark and has to come through in conjunct Mercury retrograde, conjunct Pluto in a dark moon after the sun's been on it. So there's definitely still emotionally in our lives, we're going to have to learn to still try and understand on a deep level. And also, you know, those are the days where we don't want to get into dark shit. We don't want to try to pursue too many things. And that's what's hard, is there's too much excitement with Mercury direct. There's too much excitement with Mars direct. And on a dark moon, that's a no-no. Remember, these are the devil days, they're called, where you don't want to get stuck into some really dark place. And I covered that very deeply 2 months ago on my video about dark moons. These are not days where you want that. So everywhere throughout this week, it's the odd of, yeah, it's turning forward, but it's not fully turning forward. If you look everywhere else, it's like, nope, dark moon. Nope, Mercury direct, yeah, but in quincunx to Mars, that's direct, but Mars is frustrated and not moving. And Mercury's too. And they have been already doing that for the last week. And they're doing it all this week. So it's like one of those moments where you're trying to rush, because if you're trying to rush it, that's what Capricorn's not about either. And that's what's the big test of this Sun conjunct Pluto as we start this week is, do you know timing? Do you know how to be responsible with your timing, your strategies? I'm a business owner, so trust me. Timing is everything, and understanding time and planning for the month ahead and knowing how to always be on top of certain things and being on this and being on top of that, knowing when I can spend money on this and when I can't on that. And that's what Venus and Saturn are saying too. So whatever plans we have, they've got to be truly in alignment right now. They have to actually be thought out fully. They have to actually have some sort of reality basis to them. They can't just be off a whim. They just can't be off a aha. Especially with Uranus that's retrograde still. And then not until Sunday after the new moon do we start to get the ahas. And they'll only be on things in Taurus that work, that already were seeds that were placed. And definitely things about bringing things together, not about trying to break away into a crazy place where you don't know where you're really going. This is definitely hardcore adulting and knowing how to not put your finger in the cookie dough before the cookies are done. You might be able to for a sec, but if you eat half the fucking cookie dough, you might get sick and you also kind of ruin the whole cookies. And that's a hard one, trust me. I mean, I'm a Leo. Leos get caught with their hand in the cookie jar all the time. But that's where it's really, you know, this is a time to really think clearly We've already been under red flag warnings astrologically week after 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 week. When it comes to, are you sure you know what the fuck you're doing? Believe it or not, you would think on this week when it's all going good and it's starting to look good, don't take that as a sign to jump. Take it as a sign to be like, has this made sense? Have I still double checked it multiple times? Because it's really easy to get lost really quick. And Venus and Saturn are at the same time, I think, one of the biggest transits of this week. Not so much the planets coming direct, even though they're big, and even though the new moon's big. I'm looking at Venus and Saturn. That's what the dispositor is. And Venus on Saturn saying, I better take my shit serious. I better understand what I'm doing. I better understand my impact on others. I better understand my impact on the world. I better understand that I got all my shit together to try and implement the things that I want to do in my life, but it better not spin out of control because I'm just trying to wing it. This is not a good time to wing it. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to see what happens. It also is going to bring up every serious situation in your life that needs to be confronted. That's odd with communication. Mercury in quincunx to Mars in Gemini. And Mercury being in Capricorn. Can you be an adult and get to the point of things and get to a strategy and not feel weird about just trying to run away or trying to run into something new or trying to, overstimulate yourself to feel better about things? Without paying attention to, well, why was the universe forcing me to look at certain things for longer than normal? Longer than normal. It's not easy because no matter where this looks, it's the biggest test of the Sun and Pluto in Capricorn. And this is one where you don't want to fall into your shadows by actually jumping, by actually being too quick. Mars is the other co-dispositor of the South Node in Scorpio, and it's in Gemini, and it wants to go. It's so frustrated, it's ready to just run away. It's like being in a car with anxiety. Get me the fuck out of this car. It's like, yeah, but are you going to really walk the rest of the way there, or do you even know what you're doing? Like, what is the impact on the people in the car, on the driver you're with, on all there's way more situations at hand here that have to be thought out before you just are jumping into your own, I want this now. I need free. I'm so done with this energy. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm ready to go to do this and ready to go do that and boom, boom, boom. And that's when it's like, did you even have enough gas in the car? Do you even have the understanding of what you're doing to provide for yourself? Venus is about providing, creating, abundance, manifestation, money. Do you have the money to do the choices that you're trying to do? Do you have the ability? Do you have the talent? Do you have the skill? Has it all come together? Have all the pieces come together for you to do it? What is the market doing? What is the world doing? Where's the world shifted? What people aren't recognizing in this moment is where changes are happening. I just mentioned last night the algorithms of YouTube, how 100% just changed. So it's making me rethink YouTube myself. I'm not going to go rush to figure it out fully and just start throwing shit on the fucking wall. But I'm definitely thinking about it every day until I come up with a solution, which will probably be in the next couple weeks when Mercury finally gets out of shadow. But until then, and with Venus on Saturn, this is not a time to just take big, giant leaps and go, I already know. You don't know. It's still Saturn in shadow, right? So it's weird because in June, when Saturn finally was retrograde, it's when we saw Saturn come to these degrees. And so it's like there's still lots of lessons about relationships in June, about money in June. A lot of these things that have to be looked at deeper. Like you don't want to be replaying situations that didn't work out good for you at that time. You want to make sure that you're really aware of what the fuck's going on right now because it's super easy to be triggered by both the co-dispositors of the South Node. Whenever especially even the fact that this new moon is with Pluto, just in different signs, but they're fucking conjunct. This is a new moon that's going to really test the boundaries of two different worlds, but in the same world. Capricorn and Aquarius, Saturn and Saturn, Saturn-Uranus, however you want to look at it. The responsibility, and with Uranus being in Taurus with the North Node, it's the long picture. It's the long ball. You know, it doesn't matter how, you know, this is an old golf expression. It doesn't matter how big the drive is. It's you putt for the dough. You know, and if you push too hard on that putter and I don't care, that's where you lose the game. You know, it looks real good. Like I could do this right now. Bam! But do you have all the skills? Do you have the right clubs? Do you have the right everything to be able to get onto the green right and tap it in? And that takes strategy, and that takes time, and that takes practice, and that takes being at the right timing, understanding how much pressure to put on things and when not to. And that's kind of the energy of Mercury and Mars. How much pressure do we put to push things, and then do we know to understand it's not, let me take a little bit more time to understand this. Let me take a little bit more time before we just can't be rushing things. These have to be things that have been thought out for long times, have strategies, have plans, and have things that have already been part of the whole cycle and the circle of our lives. And this new moon, of course, in Aquarius is desperate for liberation. Right? It's wanting a whole new world. It's wanting to break free of this energy. And in many ways we are, but not in the way that your ego thinks. This new moon is also in a minor trine, of course. It's trine Mars, but not really. But it is. So there is an aspect of us wanting to go, ready to take action. And it's about smart and strategic action.
This is High Vibe TV, the uncensored, guided, and community-based video TV network with content recorded and live streamed from the world-famous High Vibe TV studios. High Vibe TV delivers daily, weekly, and special programs focused on astrology, spirituality, history, community, and more. This is not your run-of-the-mill astrology and tarot. This is the future of spirituality, illuminating new ways the collective can step into the dawning of this exciting new dimension. The highest vibe is truth, and the truth always prevails. Download our awesome app on the Apple and Android stores so you don't miss our notifications with special spiritual insights curated to the energy of the universe. Search for us on your TV with our exciting TV apps on Apple TV and Roku. Catch our vibe on your computer where you can join in on the live chat with our amazing community and blog. Watch spirituality like you've never seen before. Download our apps or go to highvibe.tv. Subscribe now.